Volt works, offline charging works. SE Linux is permissive out of the box. Those of you who want to get an enforcing build, feel free to write the SE policy and send it over to the developer. Safety net passes only and only after you root your device. Enable Magisk Hide. Once that is done, enable Magisk Hide for the Google Play Store and the Play services, and you should have a certified device in the Play Store so that you should be able to use your banking apps without any issues. Double tap to wake works without any issue. Always on display is also present, also works, will result in excessive battery drain, and we also have Assistant 2.0 in the building. 120 Hz is also present. There it is on the top left. The only downside is that 60 and 120. You do not get something like 50, 30 and all those things. And the super important thing, please note Android 12 itself is in beta right now, so do expect some bugs. If you come in with the expectation that you will have a bug-free super dope ROM, I mean, the ROM is dope, but it's not bug free in the end. So come in with the expectation that you are installing a beta build on your device. So there will be some issues and you will be very happy with the build. I guess that was a pretty cool intro for Android 12 Beta 3 on the Poco X3 Pro, wasn't it? Hey peeps, what's up? Manchi here, back with another video. And guess what? We now have Android 12 Beta 3 available for the Poco X3 Pro, and here it is. I am running it on my device. You do have the new wallpapers which Google just dropped, so press and hold on the empty space, go into wallpapers and style, and of course, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is a beta from Google itself, so do expect some issues, niggles and all those things. Anyways, let us go into change wallpaper, go into curated culture. The first three wallpapers you see on top, these are the new wallpapers which Google just dropped for Friendship Day, if I'm not mistaken. And you will notice that the first wallpaper is circular. Why? That is because that is our current wallpaper. Weather works without any issues on the home screen and on the lock screen as well. We can now go back into wallpapers and style, and there it is. You can see material hue has kicked in. So as you can see, the accent color right now is kind of yellowish. Let us say I want it to be this pinkish shade, select that one, working without any issues. Similarly, if I go into change wallpaper and choose some other wallpaper, let us use this green one, accent color changed right away, home and lock screen both, and now bam, you will notice it did not change. Why? This is a bug in Android 12 beta 3. We can go back, and now if I apply this accent color, it should be applied without any issues. In case it is not, again you'll have to learn to deal with these issues. Here it is, now it is working. Again, this is a beta build, so there will be issues, and of course you do have the themed icons as well. Another thing to note over here is that the themed icons apply only on the home screen. They do not apply to your application launcher or to your third-party applications. The search bar is squarish, and that is how it is from Google. So if any of those things do bother you, feel free to skip this build, but me personally, I am super impressed. Google Feed is also present, working without any lags or any jitters. Again, whatever pause you see is because it was connecting to the internet and loading. Here it is, 120 on the top left, working without any issues, no jitters, no lags, and back to the home screen pretty smooth. App opening animations, here are the app opening animations on your screen. Again, super smooth, no jitters, no lags, everything works absolutely fine. Recents, pixel launcher in the building, select, working without any issues. Screenshot works as well, rounded corners, share and edit icon in the building also. Again, everything is smooth. Let us go into settings, take another screenshot, power and volume down together. There it is. Tap on capture more, and what do you have here? Here you have the expanded screenshot feature of Android 12. Again, no jitters, no lags. Have a look at that magnification effect from Google. Dope, pretty dope. Next up, let us have a look at our quick settings panel. So here it is. You do have your quick setting tile for mic access and camera access, and if you tap on internet, you should now be able to disconnect your Wi-Fi from the home screen itself without having to go into settings, something which you had to do in 2 or 2.1 beta builds. Next up, let us visit our recents one more time. So here it is. Of course, the recents are pretty smooth, but another thing you will notice is that certain applications have this link. So if I tap on it, I can now copy the Chrome URL and share it. Similarly, if there was a YouTube page open, I think even for that YouTube recent, you get the link icon so that you can share the YouTube video right away. Then we can head over to settings, have a look at some other customizations. So of course you do have the new Android 12 UI. Again, everything is smooth and fast. If you go into apps, you do have your Google Assistant present, and yes, continued conversations work with the screen turned on and with the screen turned off. And guess what? This is Assistant Lady 2.0 rocking, working absolutely fine. Next up, you have the option of battery. So in battery, again, you do have the extreme battery saver, and you also have a toggle to show your battery percentage as well. No unnecessary battery drain on the build in my limited usage. Next up, in storage, you will notice that Google has added the new option of the trash folder. And if you go into sound and vibration, herein you of course have your different sliders to control the different volumes. If you go into vibration and haptics, you can control the vibration strength as well. But the important thing to note over here is if you go into media, you now have toggles to pin the media player and show media recommendations as well. Next up, we have display. So once you go into lock screen, please do not enable now playing. Again, please do not enable now playing because you're going to get audio issues, and that is an issue with all ports of Android 12 beta 3. Double tap to wake works absolutely fine, as does always on display, and trust me, the always on display animations are super dope. Lift to check is broken, and then we can go back. You also have the option of screen attention and screen timeout working without any issues, and night light also works. So let us go ahead and enable it. There it is. You can see night light working without any issues. Similarly, you also have dark theme. Let us enable that and have a look at that dark theme along with the greenish accent color. Looks dope, super dope. Then you can change your maximum and minimum refresh rates. Again, 120 hertz is supported, but you will not see the feature wherein if you play a 50 fps video in YouTube, it will switch to 50. That is not happening. Why? Because minimum is set as 60. Then you also have the toggle to increase the touch sensitivity in case you want to. We have already covered the wallpapers and style section in full detail, but another thing I would like to mention is if I go ahead and try to change the wallpaper, right, and if I tap on this arrow, this is my whole preview. If I tap on hide UI preview, it is going to hide the icons, and of course I do have the option to set the wallpaper as well and have a look at those animations. They are super cool and super smooth. Next up, in settings, security. The fingerprint scanner works absolutely fine, but the only issue which you might notice is that when you press the power button, you have to press it 2 or 3 times before the screen goes black or the phone goes to sleep. Again, expect some issues with beta builds of Android 12. Then if you go into system, and then we can go into gestures. You do have quick tap, but this is double tap on the back gesture. This is broken, only working on Pixel devices for now. Swipe fingerprint for notifications is also broken. And if you go into system navigation, go into settings, you do have a toggle to disable the swipe to invoke assistant, and you can also change the sensitivity for the left edge and the right edge. One-handed mode is present and it works without any issues. Of course, you can change the gesture to show your notifications in case you want to. And if you still want your one-handed mode, you also have shortcuts, so you can enable the accessibility button or use the volume keys. And here it is. This is the accessibility button I was talking about, and of course you can move this around, and if you tap on it, it should disappear. So let me try that one more time. Tap on it, it's not disappearing. I think another issue with the beta, but it should go back inside the screen once you tap on it once. And before I forget, if you feel that the keyboard height is long enough or big enough, you can always go into settings, system, languages and input, go into your on-screen keyboard, select the Gboard option, go into preferences, and in preferences you should have the option of keyboard height. Here it is. You can change it extra short, short, mid, short, tall. So those are the different options which are available. Next up, let us talk about the widgets. So with respect to the widgets, Google has not rolled out the pretty cool looking weather and clock widget, but you do have the new conversations widget on this build. Then if you go into your home settings, you will notice something called live space. Now what is this live space? Well, at a glance has now been renamed to live space. Next thing, do note Android 12 beta 3 comes with something called game dashboard, but it is hidden. On beta 3 ports for other devices you could search for it, but in this specific port there is a bug wherein the search settings is crashing. So how do you access your game dashboard? Well, you have to download an application called Activity Launcher from the Google Play Store, and herein you need to search for something called game. And once you search for game, of course I do have the Google Play Games installed, you need to go into the settings section, and herein you will notice I do have something called com.google.android.settings and game settings activity, right? So let us try selecting the setting. Let us select this one. Here it is, game settings opened successfully, and now I can enable my game dashboard. Once I have enabled my game dashboard, how do I access it? Well, that is another trick. So download any game from the Google Play Store. Let us say I do have Pac-Man. Okay, so here it is. I do have Pac-Man running, and you need to minimize the game. Once you do that, go to your recents and switch to any other application. So let us say I switch to this app, and now I need to go back to the game using the recents. Here it is, this arrow on the right, bam, changed to a controller. Tap on it. Here it is, this is my game dashboard controls. This on top right first button, this is your DND. Then you have FPS meter, screen record option, and the screenshot option. All of them show up in this floating bar. Do note you also have YouTube Live, which does work absolutely fine. Game optimization either is not enabled in this beta or is not enabled for this specific game. With respect to this floating bar, here are the different options. So the bottom one is your FPS, which right now is being shown as 0. The second option should open the screen recording options, and here it is, it opened without any issues. And the third one is to take a screenshot, again working without any issues either. So that is how you enable the game dashboard on this specific build. Then we can also check for safety net. Now at the beginning of the video I did show you how to pass safety net for your apps, your Play Store and the system itself. So here it is, safety net passes without any issues. With respect to your YouTube media playback, everything works absolutely fine. Live caption works, picture in picture works, no jitters, no lags, neither in the audio nor in the playback. Of course, for picture in picture, either you need to have YouTube Premium or you need to be in a specific country in case you do not want to pay for YouTube Premium. Then with respect to the Google Photos, do note this is a Pixel 5 port, so you do get the storage saver unlimited pictures. Let us try to edit this picture of my favorite football star and see if we get the option of portrait light. Yes, the loading bar finished. Go into adjust, portrait light. Here it is, available and working without any issues. Another important thing to note over here is that portrait light will work if and only if you have a human object. If I try to edit this picture of my chicken friend, I will not get the option of portrait light. Why? Because Google has pretty great AI. Then we can check for the app opening animations one more time to see if you have any lag, any jitter in the UI. Nope, nothing like that. Let us check the recents as well. Everything is smooth. Let us go to our Google feed one more time. Once all the content has loaded, then there is no lag and no jitter in the UI. Try switching between a few applications. Here it is, no lags, no jitters, everything works absolutely fine. So what is the final take and the $1 million question? Is this build a daily driver. Well, before we talk about that, Gcam port for this build can be found in their Telegram group, and more details can be found in the description of this video if you care to read it. As for the daily driver status, this is a very good daily driver, even though there are some bugs and some issues, most of which are due to Android 12 itself being in beta. I don't mind having a few niggles here and there as long as I am running the latest Android on my device. And there it is, peeps. That was our first look at Android 12 Beta 3 on the Poco X3 Pro, and that will do it for this video. Hope my video helped you. Likes, shares and subscribes are appreciated. Feedback and comment more than welcome. See you when I see you.